Right? When you talk about spirits, you talk about character of someone. When you talk about character and spirit, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey become Jamaica's first national hero. What possessed Marcus Garvey to do the things that he did? You can't. It's not. It's not. It's not a normal. It's not a normal thing. It's not a normal thing. What Marcus Garvey did. Not a normal thing. And where Marcus Garvey is from, where Marcus Garvey is born, yeah, must be a sacred. Is a sacred place. You know, when you go for people go to for an example, my grandmother has been to the Wailing Wall. You know, some people go to Mecca. Some people go to Jerusalem. There is a place in Barcelona, and they have the Black Madonna. Yeah, it's a pilgrimage. It's just like schooling. Yeah. When people take to go back home and all that, you have to negative about that. When it comes to education, as a man in the diaspora, you're supposed to go to Africa to get your knowledge. Knowledge is, yeah, okay. Let's say Ethiopia is one of the first countries mentioned in the Bible. As I said, the Bible set mostly in Africa, Egypt. If it was good enough for the Greeks and the Romans, it's good enough for me. The schooling. Hold on, is someone trying to get in there? Right, the schooling. Man is supposed to go to Africa for our. We're supposed to have the universities there. Yeah, you have all different parts of Africa. Whether you want to go, whichever field you would like to be an expert in. Now, the Chinese have done remarkable, but I tell you, those African men are not easy either. Some of them Nigerian man. Over 20 years working in the city of in the West End, and I stand up there, right, and observe, and I see Nigerian man coming, walking out the building, maybe a handful of black men in the company, and you see a Nigerian man. He's a very clever man, them and women them, you know. You don't see Kemi Badenoch. Kemi Badenoch. We're not really behind her, but to be honest, you know what I mean. I'm kind of gonna do a show about that because I you know, the bourgeois of the blacks, you know, the upper class blacks and all these things. Yeah, the working class, the lower class. What would Marcus? Because to be fair, Marcus is kind of conservative. You know, Marcus Garvey is a Christian. But when the things that Marcus Garvey said, if you read Marcus Garvey, okay, the words that come out of that man's mouth, you're uplifted instantly. Uplifted. Here's another thing with Marcus Garvey, right? So Marcus, now it's in the name, yeah? It's in the name. Now, I am in the transition of receiving the I name. You know, people get, you know, same way you're supposed to go to Africa, yeah? You're supposed to go to Africa and get your schooling. You're supposed to be issued, right? A name, okay? You're supposed to receive a name. Marcus Garvey, name. They call them man Moses. They call him man Marcus Mosiah. The last, I tell you, I never get gifted those titles for a reason. What drive Marcus like that? A spirit of a man. Look on your screen. We're talking about English heritage, right? They put the blue plaque there, right? When Marcus Garvey had his time in London. Now, why I don't touch Marcus Garvey, I don't know if I've ever done a show about Marcus Garvey, but it's happened now. It's happened now. Because, you know, I don't know what he would, oh boy. He's a serious piece of man as well, you know. You look at the kind of build, you look at the look on his face. He's not a person to mess about with. Marcus Garvey. He's not. I don't. What he looks to me, he look like a person that does not. He don't muck about. Yeah. Right. Marcus Garvey. Now, people may say, looks is deceiving. Yeah, there's a song, looks is deceiving now, and they are. Right? And this is not blowing no trumpet and all these things. This is not blowing no trumpet. This ain't not blowing no trumpet. Look, look at the look on a man's eyes. People can see that people like, you know, not someone to. If you gain the attention of someone like that, you know. If you ever met Marcus Garvey in real life, you would never forget. You would never forget a man like that. And I said the black man and woman and child. What would he think about us at the moment? Marcus Garvey. Now again, you have to go into attire. Yeah, you have to go into attire. And how someone can kind of move the people. Now it's fair to say Marcus Garvey left his home, right, and went to America and was kind of, I in my view, Marcus Garvey couldn't have done the great things that he done in Jamaica because how the people them so hard-headed. But he had a spirit. He would move. It seems as if he would move on. He would move on. He would move on. Right? His mission. His mission. Because sometimes you won't get your recognition, and that is it. What it is. It is what it is. Maybe not now, but when the time comes, your recognition will come. It may not happen in your lifetime, like I never happened to Marcus Garvey. And then I had the people let down Marcus Garvey. You all have comments like people sell Marcus Garvey for a bag of rice, you know. Rice, food. They said that black man, a woman and child sell out. And he's not the first one, you know. Right? People must be protected, but people don't know you know, because of the only explanation could be, right? Because if we're living in a religious place, okay, right, and a man says, right, you open any of them books, right, as far as I see, right, it's a Abraham influence thing, yeah. So their gods are running things. No one God, there's many gods, right? So if you believe that there is a God, then you must believe in a spirit. The angels, the demons, the jinns in Islam, the jinn. All the you know, the synagogue. The word I missed out the other day was synagogue. Because sometimes I'm telling you, it blinds you and lock your ears, lock your mouth, make you into a rage spirit. No joke. People can't tell me that there ain't no spirit. I have a spirit. That my son told me. He said, I said, what if I thought, oh no, what a thing to ask your son. Because you know, I didn't think I was looked up for anything to be respected. You don't feel the respect, you know. You have your own children, you think, oh Lord, you know, it used to be a little baby and thing, you know, but I'd done the same thing to my parents. I disrespect my parents. Growing up. Yes. And at the time, they just want this kid, you understand? They know. You think you can do things. The parents know. I pick up the phone right now and I phone my dad. He just, as soon as I speak, he knows what kind of mood I'm in. And that's the conversation, how the conversation will go. Marcus Garvey did have a spirit and had a character. That's why I don't fight down Emperor Selassie, because I know, I understand, things did happen. I know things did happen. I'm going to do the show about that. I know. But when you're talking about people that can speak 14 different languages, walk into the UN, United Nations, and deliver speech in his home tongue. Man standing up, whistling, wolf whistling to the emperor. Is the biggest thing. The emperor is bigger than the queen. The queen know that. Everybody know that. And if the queen can say, okay, I sit down on a throne, right? I have my lineage. Then Emperor Haile Selassie, his lineage must be also said using the same thing, and you will find that his lineage is more something that you can look to say there is some kind of evidence. There is evidence to say that that man is an emperor. The man go in the Bible and say, yeah, see my great grandfather there. Look, David, Solomon. If that's what you know, what people want to do, right? They want to twist. They want to just to suit themselves. So let's just stick to it then. Let's stick to it. Let's be all let's be religious. Let's look at it through the lens of yourself. You cannot deny that there's spirits, because you got man walking on water. That's why when a man come with his cross, that is a sign of death. That is a sign of the Romans. Everybody knows that. You looked up on the hillside and you just see all these crosses. Yeah? What the Romans put up. Never mind kneel before Zod. You had to kneel before the Romans, because the Romans invaded England and changed their ways. And for me, it's like the English became the Romans and done better than the Romans. The English Empire. And that's saying a lot, right? That's saying a lot. You just check by the language, how many countries speak English? How many countries? Even today, countries are ruled by England. You see? And Jamaica is one. Yeah? What drive Marcus Garvey? I'm gonna go make my tea now because see, this is thirsty work. Okay. So the time frame, yeah, 1887 to 1940. That is this is the pilgrimage. Okay, this is the pilgrimage. Right, people, you understand? And look, see, it has its blue plaque. That building cannot be touched. It's a national treasure. Huh. So if the Englishman can recognize, yeah, okay, and say, right, a man deserve his a plaque on the on the building, so that building cannot be taken down. Maybe they can take off the back or whatever, make some changes inside, but the front of the building, there's certain parts of the building it cannot be touched. It's an English heritage building, and you have to give your props on how because they know what they're doing. They know the importance of things like that. Yeah, giving plaques, making the history. Yeah. Well, I had a look at where it was. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. In London. Yeah. And I'm going to click on maps. Where is it? Oh. I have to write in the name of the street. 1 second. So what? Right, so it's 53 Talgirth Road. Right. Talgirth Road, yeah. Now, look where Marcus Garvey went to set up shop. Just look at the area. Yeah. Man's gone up to Kensington, you know, Hammersmith, near Earl's Court. Marcus Garvey set up his place, because the way how Marcus Garvey was doing his thing, he devoted his life to the movement he devoted his life for the upliftment of his people. Okay, so his home became everyone's home. It became a hotbed. London at the time is a hotbed of people, you know. Right? It's a hotbed. All right. The Nkrumah. Who else was let me get my notes up. You see? There's enough, man. Marcus Garvey school, you know. You know, artists, whatever you was about. Yeah, you go and visit Marcus Garvey down at 53 Talgirth Road. I think it was the 1930s. Right, we have to be sure. I can't be sure. Let me get my notes up. Right. Marcus Garvey. I tell you. Okay. Okay, so let me start a new chat then. Okay. And people know that Marcus Garvey passed away here, and they don't know what happened really, you know. But he's a kind of person like that. You know, I think was Marcus Garvey a Leo, right? Yeah, in born in August. You look at the star sign Leo. Yeah, you talk about the Mesopotamian people. Look into the sky. Could you imagine how you could see the sky so clearly in the desert overnight time? And I tell you, the constellation is Leo, the lion. Then when you go into the lion, you see Hercules. Was it the 7 battles of Hercules? And one of the battles was the lion. Well, that is what's up there. They said that's the beast. When Hercules is firing his arrow, Hercules is firing his arrow, and the arrow is bouncing off the creature. Yeah. Is it the Pillars of Hercules? Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're talking about Roman mythology, Greek hero, you know, Hercules. Yeah. The life and labors of Hercules. And one of them was that he had to he ended up having to hand wrestle the beast, because whatever he did to the beast, it just bounced off. And that beast is a lion. That's what the yeah, things written in the stars. Those things written in the stars, didn't they? Okay. And then again, when you're looking, you may see something different, and that is how it is. That is how it is. That's what's supposed to happen. Yeah, you're supposed to bring something different to the table. If it was all the same, it'd be so boring. So we've got you know, his London years. Yeah. Now also, you know, Marcus Garvey went to Central America. So Marcus Garvey was a well-traveled person. The spirit that take that man along his journey. And these are the things that shaped him when he saw certain things on his journey. As I said, man, it's a natural thing to look at your own people, right? And if you see them doing good, you know, you give them a salute. And then when you see them suffering, you know, it should hurt you. So, you know, it hurts to the bottom of your heart. And it does. That's what's supposed to happen. That's natural. Okay, so Garvey first arrived in London from Jamaica in 1912. So hold on. When did the First World War? All right. Well, that is before the First World War, isn't it? So that was you see, you had the 1912s, yeah, but you had the Roaring Twenties. Go and have a look at the pictures of like the Roaring. Get one up, the Roaring Twenties, yeah. You're talking about decades there, you know. When you look at what people are doing, yeah, you know. Oh, jeez. You got your Roaring Twenties, yeah. The Roaring Twenties, 1920s. Yeah, have a look at that, and you know, the one thing about, you know, when you have grandparents or people older than yourself, you can ask them, what was it like then? You know, yeah. So you had your Roaring Twenties, refers to the decade of the 1920s, a period of rapid economic growth, social change, and dynamic cultural shifts across North America, and Europe. So right, so following the end of the First World War, yeah, because when you check, you see, if you don't keep your eye on things, right, because the war in Ukraine, yeah, which is against two Christian, that's white on white. Yeah, you got black on black. Yeah, you got your the cousins are fighting, families are fighting. Yeah, just like how black people will fight each other. Well, here what? It seems everybody's up to that. Yeah, because the Ukraine war has been going on longer than the I think it was the Second World War, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. But remember that they war for 100 years. 100 years war. European is not, is they're warish people. They are. They're warish people. There's some terrible man come from out of them. Man come draw for barbarians, Vikings. You don't see the spirit of the Vikings driving Haaland. Right, and look how great he is as a footballer, because he's channeling into his people. For an example, Erling Haaland, he ain't got a spirit about him. Is he not different? It is a fact. As I said, you can't just point to it and say, right, it's right there. There he is. That's what people want. They want you to, like Ghostbusters. You put the thing down, you press the button, and the machine open up, and it collect the thing, and then you go, and you see there's something wicked, something like, you know what I mean, vicious. If you ever see some of the beasts that they catch in Ghostbusters, right? So as well, yeah. So we're heading to this kind of time frame, and it's one of those golden ages, the 1920s music, you have your thing before the war, right? You have your movements before the war, and then you have the movements after the war, when people put down the weapons. I said, we're not gonna war anymore. There's great pictures of that. Yeah, you see the man holding the woman and kissing her. I think that's in America. You see like the sailor grab up the woman and they're kissing. They put up the V sign. It's a victory. You see confetti, and you know what I mean. People going wild. So it's a time where things are changing. You're in the changing times now. It's not everyone can change with the times. As I said, it's not everyone is gonna be a Marcus Garvey. Not everyone's gonna be a Marcus Garvey, and I presume it would be something natural. It's just something drove Marcus Garvey to do what he done, to travel from Jamaica, not just to America. He went to Central America, and then Marcus Garvey gone 53 Talgoth Road, just around the corner from Earl's Court, and palaces and all that around them areas. Marcus Garvey rented out the. It's fair to say it's the people. It's the people of America. It's not. I'm telling you. How do we say our brothers and sisters in America, like the African American, they call them African American? It's not a joke. You know what I mean? Of their achievements, what they've done. Now, some people, some people may not do the things to my liking, but the African American, they don't rise to the top of in America. And when Marcus Garvey got is the African American called Marcus Garvey in Moses and give him the money. It's fair to say they were renting out Madison Square Gardens. No joke place there, mate. Madison Square Gardens. How much would it be to rent that place out? Back in the day. Back in the day. The Arena in New York. When I see Madison Square Gardens, for me, I thought, oh, it looks small, you know, small, bright, New York. And I said, boy, there's levels to things, levels to things. There's some people who will never go to America, yeah. And when I went to America, I tell you, man, my eyes wide open. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I walking down the road after I go to the museum, and I said, how does man make things like this? It's not a joke. New York City. You could have serious neck pains if you looked at all those buildings. The buildings are so high. And the amount, the size of the city. When I'm up on the balcony looking down, the energy. No wonder you're gonna have some characters coming out of places like that. Them places are hot. Is a hotbed for character, you know. And you can't tell me that if you took out the black out of America, there is no soul. There is no soul to it. Because whether you hear, you see a man down south on the west coast, yeah, right, up, you understand, up in the north part, for example, New York. So then people have that energy. Americans have energy. You mean I'm saying they all combine together. They all combine together to you know, for this thing. I'm not saying one is more than the other, but if you took out the black out of America, it would have lost its soul. There would be no soul. It would be soulless. When black men bring to the table as a people. We're just naturally like that. We're naturally like that. You wait till I go into the music ones. Watch. Yeah, we talk about Marcus Garvey. But Marcus Garvey, yeah, and look, he's not Marcus Garvey take his money out his pocket. Yeah, it is the people of America give Marcus Garvey the money. They rented this venue for months, or a month. Then, just for an example, let's call it a month. Madison Square Gardens. What drive Marcus to do such a thing? What made Marcus go to 53 Talgoth Road? Yeah. You see what I mean? The thing no one work now. Hold on, what's happening? You see what I'm saying? Right, this thing, man. I'm gonna have to share again. Okay. Because I don't know why it come off there. I'm sure it was up before. I must have done something wrong. Or the stream has stopped or something. Something ain't right. So you have Madison Square Gardens, yeah? You have Talgoth Road. Yeah? You have Marcus Garvey. Yeah? And the English heritage, put the plaque on the wall. So he's not up for debate. Because it's not me putting a plaque up on the wall. It's not me now blowing the trumpet into some mythical thing. What drive Marcus Garvey? I don't know you understand? I'm not there yet. But something drove that man to do what he done. And what would Marcus Garvey think of us, the people, man? Honestly, as I said, he's not a guy to play about with. He's not a person to muck about with. Marcus Garvey's father was a stonemason. Yeah, as a child. He digged the grave. He digs a grave. And you know how scary Jamaica can be in the nighttime. We'll go there and see. Go there and see. There's certain pilgrimage man making them. Yeah. Right. And it is what it is. You can't do everything. You know what I mean? You have to just do what you can. Anyway. So Marcus' dad said, Marcus, go. I don't know whether or not he threw the shovel down there or something. His daddy. Yeah. I don't know whether or not he threw the ladder down. Yeah. He threw the ladder down there, and no, not the ladder, the shovel. He must have thrown the shovel down there, or he tricked Marcus Garvey, the little kid, his son, his young child. A father is teaching his son a life lesson, a psychological lesson, right? A psychological lesson. And he said, so when Marcus went down there, his dad pulled the ladder up in the night time, and walked away and left the young lad in the grave. Could you imagine how frightening? Yeah, but we know if you understand, as I said, people don't get those kind of teachings. You know that those things are over. People ain't got no time for that. I know no time for that. And sometimes it's so hard for you to break through because things are different now. That was Marcus Garvey life lesson. No one will save you, son. Yeah, leave the young lad in. And could you imagine if you'd done that today? If that child come out and got hold of a phone and phoned the authorities, you know they would lock you up for that. They call it child cruelty. They would lock you up. Child cruelty. Huh. That's how people used to get their lessons back in the day. That's what happened to Marcus as a young child. Now, boy. I tell you what it is, right? Marcus Garvey's place of, the pilgrimage where Marcus Garvey is born is supposed to be a sacred place. It's a sacred spot, yeah? That's what I'm saying. It should have its plaque, or it should be an area that is kept. Now imagine if we lost in Jamaica, we lost the place where Marcus Garvey come from, because that is what could happen, right? Because they're selling out the rivers in Jamaica, not just the river. They sell out the river head, the head of the river. So when you stop the head, you know, control. It's just like if a country owns your ports, you don't own your country. You are now at the. It's a security risk. Your front door of your house, okay? If someone else owned that, so now you can't go through your front door. You have to go through your back window. Well, that's what's happening. If Marcus was here now, oh no, I tell you, it's just like when Jesus went into the money lenders, didn't it? They said in the Bible, Jesus went into the they were I don't know if they were gambling or money collecting in the temples. Yeah, and the man from Nazareth that's in the Bible, yeah. But these are, I don't know that you understand, because but there's videos about that. There's videos about that. Yeah, you put in like here is I can't say that it's like the history of Jesus. Talking, we got the video. I'll have to. I'm gonna plug a video in. You see, there's so much information to remember. Because people take up big subject. You know what I mean? But as I said, people do what they have to do. You understand? And and like, call him man like Mosiah, Moses. So if a man have like a spirit of Moses wasn't a joke, man. He's in the Oval Office. They have a bust. They have a statue of Moses with the horns in his head. They got Moses in there. Talking about great leaders. they call them man Marcus Garvey Moses. A man come into the office, shoot Marcus Garvey in his leg and in his head. Marcus Garvey went to hospital, come out the next day and went and done a speech. That's what cemented Marcus Garvey to the people of in New York. One in the leg, one in the head. And Marcus Garvey walk out and do his speech. And moved, I'm telling you, man, the people said he's Moses. No joke. The people said that man was Moses. They look, that's what they said, mosiah. So what drive Marcus to do? Ah, boy, Marcus. And where have we come? What have we done now? So up for grabs now, where Marcus Garvey, you know, his place in Jamaica is sacred. It's sacred. But I tell you what, they will sell where Marcus Garvey is. They will sell it, and that's what I'm talking about today. How upsetting is that? To know that the land, the place where this great man come from. Now the people today, we're only here through certain works that these people do, and the place, the pilgrimage, maybe a place where you may have to pay to go and visit your own national hero, the first national hero of Jamaica. You can't make it up, Marcus Garvey. You can't make it up. You cannot make up what that man had done. When you say a man, he devoted his life. Let's look at some people that Marcus Garvey, and I joke, people Marcus Garvey influence, you know. No joke. Build African countries. When they go, Marcus Garvey schooled them. This is what I'm trying to say when people say that it's a shame on you if you ever look at you're a Jamaican. Or if a Jamaican ever look at an African and curse them, it's shame on you. It's shame on you. You're lucky Marcus weren't here. That's all you can say. They're lucky. They can get away with those things. They could never get away with that then. Marcus would have turned up and he would turn the place upside down. He's not an easy man. You think no. These people are driven by Marcus Garvey. So one was Nkrumah. I'm going to put them up in a minute because I can't remember all of them. Remember man like called Steve Biko, Nelson Mandela. Steve Biko said, you have the people's mind, yeah? You control the people. Steve Biko. Nelson Mandela come along. They lock up Nelson Mandela. He's Marcus Garvey, them man. He's drive them man. I'm telling you, watch this. Look at Marcus Garvey and you know, this is just easy history though. This is easy. I'm just saying it's disrespectful. People don't know what, you know what I mean. People looking at you. You know what I mean. Things you come and utter out of your mouth. Not even in a man's shadow. You could never. The works that you could complete. And they will say that black people sell out Marcus Garvey for rice, you know. Oh my God, you don't know how these things are hurtful, mate. What have we become? So how do I word this now? So Marcus Garvey, you see, because when you go in, you know, your brain's scrambled, mate. Because when you think about things like that, you just can't, you know, your brain short circuit. I mean, honestly, what would he think about us? You see, sometimes things are not to be said. That's why I forgot. Right? So influence, yeah, yeah. Influenced by. Sometimes things. Okay, so he was now. Look again. Marcus Garvey never just become great like that, you know. Because when you look at Marcus Garvey, some things happened to Marcus Garvey. You said, boy, I tell you, if you really look into it, don't look at it like no mythical thing. He worked hard at what he was doing. Marcus Garvey will stand up on stage and stuttering like I do stutter here, embarrassed, nervous. And Marcus Garvey fell off the stage right in on his face. His face was in the dirt, and people there witnessed that. You imagine the shame. The man felt the shame, right? And Marcus Garvey just brushed himself off. As, my gosh, what drive a man like that to do? I mean, honestly, oh boy, I tell you, my people don't deserve saving. They don't deserve it, mate. They don't deserve that, man. Well, we must bow our head in shame. He's a white preacher, Marcus Garvey, who teach Marcus Garvey, if you want to be correct about things, then on his journey, because Marcus Garvey's original teacher was his dad and his mum, and that is a certain teaching. But when it comes into speaking to people, right? Speaking to people, there was I don't know the guy's name. You see. This is when you talk about man like Marcus Garvey, you're gone for days, for months, for years talking about him. The works that these people, because you must break it up into, I'm just doing a little small thing here. And I'm not doing it justice at all. This is just part one. But sometimes you just have to do what you do. You don't know why you have to do what you do. It is what it is. Marcus Garvey, yeah. So it wasn't just Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey learned on the road. Okay, and getting over that hurdle there, right? When he embarrassed himself, and when he came back, he just wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop. The guy coached him, which does happen. There's no doubt Mike Tyson's a great boxer. But Mike Tyson was saved by Cus D'Amato. He's a white man. The last time I looked at Cus D'Amato. That's who made Mike Tyson. So you got Booker T. Washington, yeah. No joke, people. Then Booker T. Washington, yeah. So you have early Pan-Africanists, yeah. You have Duz Muhammad Ali, Edward Wilmot Blyden, and Martin Delaney, yeah. Bishop Henry McNeill. You had Irish nationalism at the time as well. So I'm looking at the influences, right? Where Marcus Garvey, you get his influences here. So you got your Irish nationalism. And also, as I said before, he was horrified by the working conditions in Costa Rica, Panama, when he was a young printer and union organizer. Marcus Garvey had a newspaper in Latin America. Was it the Nación? Oh man, come on, man. It's no joke. No joke. Very, very, very upset with the people about Marcus Garvey. Very upset. I said black people disrespect Marcus Garvey when he was alive too. They will stone him in Jamaica. Marcus Garvey went to go and open his mouth in Jamaica. They would have got rid of Marcus, He couldn't have done that in Jamaica, what he done in America. He had to leave. Well, the people them shoot Bob Marley, innit? Now, depending, you understand, but it's to get so close to someone. That's what you talk about, right? And the last time I see a movement of people, and it's not that I agree with it, but when I saw like the Nation of Islam, when they dress up, when Malcolm X, the brothers and sisters dress, it's just nothing like, these things is where Marcus Garvey influenced them. Marcus Garvey influence is tremendous. It's a tremendous, it's tremendous what he achieved. It's nothing but it's an impossible thing what he done. You talk about the diamond in the dirt. That's how the series is gonna be. Like, there's diamonds in the dirt. I tell you. You see, man, brush off themselves, live and learn, and then have a spirit in them that drive them. No religious person can't tell me nothing about. They must. They're supposed. But they must believe in spirit. This is what I'm saying. People are, if that's what you believe, then what I'm saying, you can't deny that. Because if you've got angels and demons, and I've never seen an angel or a demon, right? And people believe that there's angels and demons, then there is a spirit being then. There is a spirit, good and bad. Just like on the shelf, you have top spirits on the top. You see where the spirits are? At the top. And the beer's at the bottom. And the fruit juice is even, and the water is down right at the bottom, the water. You see, they have to reach down to get the water in the bar. And they have to reach up to get to the spirit. You drink a bottle of brandy or a bottle of whiskey and see if the spirit don't jump out of you. And you look at this person and you say, it's not the same person when them drink, when them smoke. You might wake up on the bad side. They call it, you wake up on the bad side of the bed. And the bad, you know what I mean? And if you accept something like that, then you can move on. You just move on with it. And don't overthink things. Because as I said, some people will believe in angels, aliens, and all those things, and you tell them about a spirit being some. You're talking about all of a sudden, what you're saying. What you know? Eve believes in spirits. This is what people are like, because you understand, because whatever's in them don't want them to know that. Don't people say that you're in high spirits? And when someone say that you have a low spirit, you know, or, you know, you're not yourself, don't they say that? Someone looks at you and says, you're not yourself today. And you know you're not, you think, oh God, don't, and you might say, look, leave me, please, leave me alone. Not today. Listen, Marcus Garvey, what drive that man? Not spirit driving. The man had spirit in him to achieve something, and then look what we did to him. And we'll all stand there and watch. We'll man pilgrimage, where some people, sacred places. You go and touch anything sacred of anybody else and see what happened to you. The battles that are now taking place is over sacred land. A man said that is our sacred place. They honor the place, right? Whoever they honor, they have their places where they have their pilgrimage. They got their pilgrimage. And Marcus Garvey deserved that at least, man. At least for what that man achieved. And what he done. I mean, it's as if Marcus Garvey didn't achieve anything. It's as if that, believe you me. The man done all that. Put his life on the line. Give his whole life to a movement. Just for now, for people to maybe not even know who Marcus Garvey is. I make man like me on the internet not even talking. It should just be all about Marcus. I could be here for years talking about Marcus Garvey. I ain't even touched the creases. I've not even touched the creases. Because everything you'd have to go into is a study of Marcus Garvey. You could take anything of Marcus Garvey. It's been studied. It's been documented. It's been discussed about. It's been explored. I'll be back in a minute. I need a break. How can we, you know what I mean? If your mind not sharp, they sell out where Marcus Garvey's from. Where he's from. No one will let you know. I'm trying to erase Marcus Garvey from the picture. Everything that built Marcus Garvey in his early years, it's up for grabs. They sell out the whole of Jamaica. You can't even go to the beach. You can't even go to the river. It's been going on for a long time. We understand that, but I'm just saying, at least, at the memory of that man, wherever he was born, it must be a sacred place. He's like a heritage. They're gonna sell out. They sell him out already. They sell out Marcus Garvey already. The poor man, You know, see Marcus Garvey attire. You know what I mean? Well put together. So, what is it? Shirt and tie man. And he was a printer, journalist, devoted his life to uplifting these people because he saw these people in such a horrific state. When you see black men in Ireland, the Latin American countries, as poor as the Latinos are, the black man poorer than them, and the Latinos will look at the black man, and they're there because of the black man, because their blood, they have the black blood in them. Without the black blood, they would not be there. It's a fact. Well, they would be pure white then, wouldn't they? His man go to, you understand, they defile the brothers and sisters. So you can't have no respect for them. Because everything black. You don't like black music. You don't like black people, but you listen to black music. I'm in the gym yesterday doing my cardio, and the man decided to put on rap music. When we look, he's an Asian brother. And I'm saying, well, fine. Yeah, people can, you understand, because at the end of the day, these are the people that buy the records. Yeah, so when time you have in your life and you might lose the money, to be honest, your audience is that. If I play, you don't see I put white people music up, I put Madonna. The Material Girl. I do it as short, Material Girl. I do this thing for a reason. So why is it that, well then again, or they love black music. That's another show. Watch that one. Yeah. Musicians, artists, the artistic side. But they know that. You give those people a chance. They know they're watching you. You can't let the black man listen. They're not easy. I mean, my uncle said to me, "Oh, what would happen if 100 African men turned up at the shore of the UK?" I said, "They the old Gatling gun. Ready, aim, fire." You hear the Gatling gun. How they used to use that in the against the Zulus. The Zulus look at the wildebeest. A Zulu man would draw in the dirt the formation of the horns. When a man call on nature, to you understand? And when you hear this, you could hear the Zulus, the stampede, just like how you hear the wildebeest. How does the crocodile know that the wildebeest is coming to cross the river to get to the green grass on the other side? Yes, he takes his laptop out. Yeah, yes, he takes his smartphone, and he's got his app. He's got his wildebeest app. See, I'm getting creative there. You see, you have his wildebeest app. I'll do a film about that. That's a funny. You see what I mean? That is a funny thing. Yeah, can you imagine? You got the crocodile, and he rides up. He sees the two eyes, and he just see a little a smartphone or a laptop comes up. Yeah, and his app, the app comes up, and he knows that the wildebeest is coming. The wildebeest goes, calls up the crocodiles on his mobile, sends him an email. We're on our way. You don't need to. because the sound, this sound travel, and crocodile hear the sound and move in. And if you want to see, it's nothing. I mean, when you look at life, don't look at what people. You have to look at animals to see a place can sustain such life. There's wildlife all over the world. There is no wildlife like Africa, none whatsoever. It's a fact. When a man told me to go home, I'm glad, you see. I'm glad. I'm not going to turn my back on such a place like that. I went to Victoria and Albert Museum and walked in there, and there's one of the stewards there. He walked over to me and had a lady with him. So I presume that he may have been teaching, you know, she was shadowing. Yeah, so he was on top of his game at the day. So he's was it putting the boat out or something? There's a saying. Yeah, there's a saying, right? And he approached me and started talking to me about, you know, welcome me to the Victoria and Albert Museum, my favorite museum. It's truly a great museum to go to. I love that place. Anyway, I'm gonna go and do I'll do some film. You know, not everything you can really film. You know, anyway. Victoria and Albert Museum. Yeah. And the man take me to. There's a ground floor you go through on your, and there was it was a sculpture again, the French sculpture. He done a sculpture right there. Oh gosh, you know, it's a great sculpture. And that the man, he's gonna come to me. There's a sculptor. So was it black? I think it was black. Anyway, they got some great sculptures in Victoria and Albert Museum. You see, V&A collection. Right. Sorry, excuse me, Marcus. We've got. You understand what I mean? Yeah. But that would have been Marcus. That would have been Marcus. Yeah. No, and I think the place where he was, it wasn't too far. Yeah. Right. It wasn't too far. Okay, wasn't too far away. Now look straight away. Yeah. I didn't do any thing here. Yeah. Look at the stuff there. All right. See, there's lots of things. If you go for a study of something, there's a lot of resources at your fingertips in England. Because these I'll tell you again, like the empire, what drive men to go and do things like that, to go and be in India, go and be in Africa. Yeah, the spirit in those people to, you know, that is for other people to talk about. Yeah. So anyway, the man take me to. We looked at that sculpture. Then they took me to another area. Right, it's a glass area. It's got all the fashion, yeah, clothes, modern day clothes. And he said, "You know what you're looking at?" And I was looking at this thing, and it was like an African printed kind of yellow dress. And the man said to me, "Do you know who wore that dress?" Test it. You know what I mean? Look at the man that tested me. I'm supposed to know. He said, "Stephen Lawrence's mother." Stephen Lawrence's mum's dress is in the Victoria and Albert Museum. I turned to the man and I said to him, "Oh, have you ever been to Africa?" The man looked at the man's Africa. He said, "Of course." The white man stand up there and telling me, "Of course, he's been to Africa," and so I said to him, "What did you think?" The man turned to me and, I mean, you should see the look on his face. The man, Africa is magical. Do you know what I mean? You go look at this film, Val Kilmer. Yeah. Is it The Shadow in the Darkness? Yeah. The Ghost in the Darkness. A 1997 film. Now look, it may be a bit over the top, yeah? Maybe a bit over the top. But just the character, Val Kilmer's Val Kilmer, yeah? The way he acts and his love for Africa. You know, How could you? I mean, honestly. Yeah, the shadow and the dark, the ghost in the darkness. Sorry, the ghost in the darkness. About the man-eating lion. Yeah, the deadly lions. You don't see what walks over in Africa. Lion and giraffe and rhino, elephants, pythons, crocodiles, great white shark. All of every right. And Marcus, why we disrespect the man, right? So I'm gonna finish up now. I'm gonna cool down. So first, Africa leader, yeah, who was influenced by, right? You know, you can notice some people that are known because you just put in certain words in the thingy into your search engine, and mine just pop up. You know, as I said, every little part of Marcus Garvey can become a major study, Man like Kwame Nkrumah. Ghana's first president. Kwame. Right? Even the flag of Ghana, yeah, features the black star at its center, directly honoring Marcus Garvey. Yeah, the one there now. This one. Right, got another one. Right, so got that one. Stop all that. Get away. Look, man. Swing here, right? And that comedian woman. Where's he in now? People, man, you behave yourself. Where's he in now? Okay. Where is what's that woman named? That comedian woman? Huh? Where's he in now? People, man, you behave yourself. Not saying people are better than each other. What you're doing, you're showing that you're showing that you're disrespectful to the to your own team. Nnamdi Azikiwe, yeah, the first president of Nigeria is Garvey. He's looking at in the 1920s. There was no other kind of man pushing it as much as that. As I said, Marcus Garvey done his part. Yeah, done his part. And look, as I said, if the Jamaicans disrespect Marcus Garvey, who is the comedian? Yeah, right. Who the comedian? You know what I mean? Because people lose respect because, right? People lose respect. People lose respect of you when you don't do such things. The people will look at the black man and say, not like we're not doing it like them. They'll do everything because they know that a black man knows that they're doing themselves more damage than anything else. The black man, woman, and child. They know that. They know that. So those things don't surprise me. And as I said, people are allowed to say, because it's not that it's not true. It's not that it's not true. But the little small island of Jamaica have done their bit for Africa. Marcus didn't even get to, Marcus never get to go to Africa. You see what I mean? Marcus never went to Africa. Oh boy. Right? Marcus never reach. Like many of us would never reach. But we're talking about contribution. Now, the negativity, what we've done, yes, must be looked at. Obviously. Right? Jomo Kenyatta. I mean, honestly, you know what I mean? Have you ever met a Kenyan? What a nice people. And if you ever get them upset, good luck, buddy. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, you have to give them the American style. Good luck, buddy. The Kenyans. Vibrant. You know? Well, I tell you. Right? The Rasta. Marcus Garvey at the heart of the Rastafarian movement. Boy, see, I've gone now. Look, I'm going through some boy. Jomo Kenyatta. Boy, this one is the one, This is a. I tell you. No. It's no joke. It's no joke. What Marcus Garvey did. Well, I'm telling you, man. We can't even walk in some of these people's shadow, The pictures of these people that I'm putting up. The African people. Right? When you meet an African man that is like, black, and boy, the power, honestly, man. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was talking about my uncle and the if people 100 African men came to the shores and what would happen to them. And then I said, there's another story to that. Right? You could get about 100 African men together and they could probably take over a country. Oh, you have to look into what I'm saying. You got some man down there, Listen, down in Africa. Man will shoot bullet at them, and bullet can't penetrate their skin. Oh, and people say, yeah, right. Well, the desert rats, Rommel, yeah. His character was before him. You even met him. Just the name, Rommel, the desert rat. Man, run for their life to see the General Rommel, the German general. Go watch your films about them things, mate. I can't remember who played. One guy played Rommel. Yeah, it's a great film. Yeah, it's a great film. When the guy gets captured by Rommel, and he's narrating how when he see the general, when you see the man, you see that he's not a normal person. He's not a normal German. Rommel, the desert rat. Brilliant. in warfare. Patrice Lumumba. I mean, honestly, to mention these people's names, I'm not even worthy to talk these people's names, man. Patrice Lumumba. If you know JTV, boy, he love Congo. Boy, I tell you, I love the Congolese. Boy, I'm a little bit, I'm so biased. Boy, I tell you, they could do nothing wrong to me. The Congolese people. Huh. You think it's a joke, people? Then, as I said, they can be very nice. You don't want to get them upset, right? Could get 100 men from Congo, could probably take over a country easily. People. I'm telling you. So yes, on that side, easily defeated, but on the other side, I'm telling you, Africa possesses some people, right? Undeniable. It's undeniable. As I said, nothing don't surprise me for us, for our brothers and sisters to be hate each other. Hate each other. Nothing surprise me. Because when Garvey was here, they done the same thing to Garvey. Oh boy, I tell you, it could be the worst enemy. Nelson Mandela. I mean, honestly, it's just it's been beatings today. Look at the picture when Nelson Mandela come out. He couldn't even lift up his arm. Mandela, right? Look at the picture. When they locked up Nelson Mandela, right? Look at the picture of him when he was young, and look at the picture when Nelson Mandela come out. He couldn't even lift up his arm. Well, I tell you, that's what will happen if you had to spend so many years in Robben Island. Look at the inmates of Robben Island. Hard. Go to a South African prison. Huh. The greatness of Africa. Oh, yeah, joking, isn't you? Right? So it is what it is because Marcus come and the disrespect Marcus, and now maybe where Marcus was born, right? It should be like a pilgrimage. It must be a sacred spot. Just like every single picture that I show you there of these leaders, you may find that wherever they were from isn't, it's not sacred. What's the time? Okay, I've got to go. That's it, man. I have to go no further than that. It's JTV. Over and out.